take about more the work of the drama is not soft as shape the can have, but it also carry wrong. The cars have beauty, but they beautiful cool. The roads are open, but every road can hide dangers. This mode is very important because the early was not peaceful. Peace was simple, broad. It was moving word where people try, married, pair, and change side when sequence demand it. A show about Orhan should make that word feel why without confuse. It should not thought too many names are bigger. It should show what each place means. A market means food and money. A get means control. A ten means lot. A road means dangerous and opposite. When the series explain these ideas, thought, action, the story becomes clear. When it only use long speech, the energy fades. The new direction of the show should focus on mutual. Orhan can no longer be present only as a son who wants to prove himself. He has to become a man who understands that every order change many lives. The review should say how visual affects solar people, anyone. That is how is history drama because the stop treatment as a simple finish line and begin to show that come after power is gained. Hill writing about the help her because it remained a star crow depend on flexible rules and law relationship. This does not mean the series must become a classroom lesson. It only means the story should give a reason behind each move. A beginner can understand this if the script stay plain. Orhan wants string, but string must become order. He wants lot, but lot must be ordered. He wants must as service people. The review also have to be honesty about repeat history dramas often love big speech seriously music and long look before action. This thing cannot work when the are used with purpose. They can create an emotion, but it the same kind of speech often the review start to the style instead of the meaning. Orhan should according this by giving each important a different reason. One token can be about fear, any other can be about due, any other can be about a serious plan, any other can be about forgives. The word should not feel hope from scene to scene. The character should not explain the same lesson again and again. A strong script trust the stay to guide to view, then left acting and lesson to the rest. This is important for bigger because repeat heavy lines can make the story feel harder than it really is. Orhan need careful writing. A weak only hit the hero and weight be define. A strong opposite have memory for a reason to actual role on the was not just shadow. It was they had told to project, soul to control, to answer, make a plan. The review should understand why the thing the plan is useful. Someone the story should show what the hope to give. This is a not need complex language because the scene itself shows the hope of common people. For a viewer who like really store history, this detail can guide the value of confused in a way that is easy to follow. Stick the right must be careful because last scene need so they do not feel. For a new view, music and sound is easy to allow when the scene shows cause and result. The matter because music helps the view feel hope, danger, and loss. The performed reading is useful because it keeps attention on how actor can show meaning without long the history memory makes the screen story feel as episode. Storytelling in screen drama often use sound to memory and emotion on screen. This can be felt through drama soft and before a hard choice. For a viewer who like action, this detail can change the hope of common people in a way that is easy to allow. The review should notice how this part can show the of the famous name. The keep review sure to Turhan wrote the review sure notice how the part can support the passion inside the cab without leaving the main story. For a review who carry about word birthing, this detail can test the change from tube to stay in a way that is easy to allow. The guide stay interesting when a choose have a reason and a price. The which beside when the drama must be fail serious rather than using it only for low scene. When the language stay plan their view can allow the politic means without feeling lost. They give the story to stick and keep the review close the main of this gives the story a clear base. Scene is the test of hunger and planning. The background is important because explain often use treat passion around thought before open access on screen. This can fail thought block road tide road people counting supplies when the drama careful it can the dangerous and keep the review close to Arhan road. For a reviewer who watching from acting, this detail can explain the road from courage to government in a way that is easy to allow. What makes this part of Urhan's story useful? It focuses on coin. This matter because money can show other is coin but powerful way. The background is important because was signed that a role want his name and order to be seen because strong when a small object when used a sign of power carry the feeling. A small detail can balance or enhance scene of due better that a long explain. This do not need compliant language because the scene itself to pressure inside the cap. The series needs balance here because symbol need explanation in word. The review of show become clear when we look to space with patient eyes. This history memory make the screen story feel as spaceport should trust the well and worship. This does not need language because the scene itself depends us because a heart showed the Havan story because strong when religious space is not treatment like a quantity. This matter because pair scene show the center of world real history give the idea more depend scene space for trust as well as a worship when the drama is a careful it can change the hope of a common people and keep the review close to Urhan wrote this topic can sport of it belonging natural inside of us speak about the series. When make this part of Urhan's story useful, it focus on introduction is close to what my history explained about early what easy story in way that show how later people remember the founder. The camera can score this meaning with present as path and meaning. This point can support the cost of a lot, so it belong natural inside a full script about the series. A small detail can balance out the language because the series support the shape of life. The series need balance here because memory should not move the difficult of really. The Urhan story becomes strong when mothering is not to treat like a trick. A camera can support this meaning with soft voice and pain behind string. This does not need language because the scene itself shows the shape of life. The review should notice how this part can change or use the state without leaving the main story. The review of the show becomes clear when the look and see with the patient eyes. The camera can support this meaning with talk of the road part and supply lines. A review should notice how this part can change the meaning of role without leaving the main story. From review who like politics, this detail can show Orhan scene of two in a way that is easy to allow in easy word. The bonding between give and the story one the idea can be string of about what best each friend clear person. When make this part of Rohan's story useful is focus on dangerous or planned the series make us this idea variable thought energy he replace and to slow the fire. This topic can guide the shape of life so it belonging nature inside a full street about the scene. This topic can watch the link become family and politics so it belongs nature inside a full speak about the scene. This idea can allow string if the lesson should not repeat in same words again and again. One of most useful history point in Rohan what was building only thought one open door but government keep them open. A role need roads, market, law, judge, tax and public trust. There were many sound but it can make very dramas. Of a single sport can show was need control. A project can show why people accept a new power. The show should use this idea in easy way. It can let a common person skip. It can show fair in market. It can show when order return. This scene make power feel really. The Orhan story becomes strong when board track is to treat like a this give the story a clear base in market road and show why land market belonging. A small detail can change the world of for courage. The government better than a long explain for review who study character growth. This detail can support the famous in a way that is easy to allow for review who want emotions. In this detail can shape the cost of lot in a way but is easy to allow. The writing must be careful because emotion idea needs simple human face to stay interesting for new interview. The danger of is easy to allow when the scene show cause and result. The main idea is simple. Pride can left but it can building him it close to what many history explain about the earning word. The rule falls when the stop silent. The review should notice how the part can depend the need of patient without leaving the main story. A fair review should also say the lesson should not be repeated in same words again by again. A beginner can understand because a series connect due and hope the review can feel this because not every danger comes for outside the feet outside the land. Background is important because could come on path depend on need the scene because dangerous when horns meeting marital board tension and carry the feelings. Some detail can guide or enhance scene of due better than a long explanation. A small detail can relieve of better than a long explanation. This point can balance the better of famous name so it belonging nature inside of full speak about the scene the weak side when the writing should around make up every function. The review can feel this because the best dollar simple but strong. The camera can spot this meaning was promised straight finally wrong and claim a small detail can project the silence before a hard choice better than the long explanation. The review should notice how this part can guide the pressure inside the cap without leaving the main story. A fair review should also say this line because frequent every station sounds like a slong. A review can notice the point in just in her question the famous of the common people. Some detail can also place of movement is power better than a long explanation. The review should notice how this part can guide of the meaning of rule without leaving the main story. The review should notice how this part can challenge of the famous without leaving the main story. These ideas can lose scene lost power when every answer is too easy. The beginner can understand of work because the series concept it was very due and how this matter because look powerful from outside but inside is full of long choice. It history link is helpful here because lead had to answer families and at the same time the camera can spot in this meaning with or hand standing will others sleep on celebrate from review who want emotion scene. This detail can support the need of patient in a way that is easy to for a review who like history. This detail can project the hope of common people in way that is easy to allow what make this part of Orhan's story useful on energy intelligent. The main ideas is simple make the story because information can strong than still really history give this more depends scene rules and informations and seriously friend the camera can spot this meaning message watching guard and face the now too much. The review should notice how this part can link between these series feel more serious whenever the Ghazi effect what people do not only what they say it also help the understand the faith and courage God many but the story also asks what courage mean. Look at it thought review. The main value is how the drama work on screen from review. This is close to what many history explain about the earning word war remember and people hold land safely on screen. This can fall through better face before dangerous. This The story size will the small human movement give. It means when the drama is careful, it can show off a famous name and keep the review close to her own drama. The review should notice how this part can support the passion side the cap without leaving the main story. From review who care about word build this detail can test the chain from tube to state in a way that is easy to allow. The weak side when the drama must keep that using it alone for scenes when the language stay plain their view can allow meaning without feeling lost. This gives the story base and keep the review close to main topic. This gives the story a clear since is the test of patient and pailing. The background is important because explain often used pressure around before open access on screen. This can thought block road tide and people counting sibling. When the drama is careful, it can the dangerous of keep the review close to her own drama. For a reviewer watching the detail can explain the road from courage the government way that is easy to allow. What make this part of one story useful focus and coins. This matter because money can show in quality but powerful way. The background is important because was a sign that a ruler wanted to his name as order to the same become stories. Small object used as sign of power carry the feeling. A small detail can balance scenes of better that a long explanation. This does not need language because the scene itself, the pressure inside the cap, the sketch need balance here because sample need explanation in play. A word the review show become clear when we look space with patient eyes. Memory makes the screen story feel as space for social trust as well as worship. This does not need language because the scenes itself depend the before and her choice. Her own story becomes story will space is no treatment like this matter because real story give to the ideas since space for social trust as well as work the scenes because story with room share and about carry the feeling. When the drama is careful it can change the hope of some people and keep the view close the Harun route. When the drama useful it can explain the change of the state and keep the view close to Harun road. The point can stop in belonging nature inside for about the series one make the pet of Harun story useful. This is a close. What many explain about the earning. The camera can support this meaning with present and past action and meaning. This point can support the cost of loyalty. So is belonging nature inside a fuss about the series. A small detail can balance the road from courage of government but can explanation that does not complete bad language because the scene itself support the shape life. The seriousness balance here because memory should not move difficult of really decision. The wrong story becomes strong when motherly is treated like the camera can support this meaning with soft voice and pin behind. This does not need complete language because the scene itself shape of a light. A review should notice how this part can change the chain trouble state without leaving the main story. The review of the show because clear we look and see with patient eyes can spot this meaning if it off-road sheep sleep line. The review should note how this part can change the meaning rule without leaving the main story. For review or like the details Harun scenes in a way that easy to allow an easy word the board between give the story one the idea can close brother words best when each friend have the clearest personality. What makes this part of Harun's story this serious make the idea thought hungry play try to slow the fire. This point can guide the shape, life, or belonging nature inside and super about the series. This point can the link between family politics so the belonging nature inside a full speak about the scene. This idea can lose its lesson shall not be repeated in same way again. One of the most useful history point in the Harun word was not only thought where opening doors but government keep them open. A rule needs road market sound a tax dispute can use a broken road can choose weakness. A hungry tone can show the toast of can show why rule need control. A project can show when people accept a new power. Carlon board view of Crow help that kind of reading because it read explain as a long process not single at the show should use this idea in easy way. It can fit a common person skip. It can show in the it can show when order written. This scene may powerful deal. The Harun story becomes strong when board is not read like this gives the story clear scenes market road and show why land matter. A small detail can change the road of the courage is going better grant a long explanation of the view or study character grow this detail and sport of the famous name in the way that is easy to allow where view over interminations that is detail the host of the easy the following sting. The writing must be careful because ideas need simple human face to stay interesting for new review. The dangers of is easy to allow and the sense show cause and result. The main idea simple is but it also made him this is close to what many explain about the early word. This since becomes story with hungry place try to slow the fire carrying the feeling when the drama careful can test the shape of like and key the real close of Harun wrote a small detail can test the meaning of rule better than a long explanation. The you short notice how this part can depend the need of the practical without leaving the main story. The few reviews should also say the lesson should not repeat the same was give and give. Again a speaker can understand the series concept it was due and hope the review can feeling that because it's not very dangerous for outside fourth outside the land of background is important because could become depend on need. This scene becomes storing with meeting marriage tension carry feeling. The small detail can sense of better or long explanation. The small detail the fear of better that a long explanation. The point can balance the brain of a famous names or belonging nature inside a full script about the series. One week space when the writing should make every fully also help the understand that a good make around may keep the camera can sport this meaning with cool plain politics dangerous. This point can deep the belonging nature inside full script about the series does not need complex language because the scene itself gains the fear of dangerous. In this area, clean only sun lost power. The drama really weight when the weight of Usman name is placed close of pain in public. The envious can feeling the because a son carry a great name and must still make his own road. The history link is helpful here because only memory of joy family with dark drama used the way people watching or own people they trust him to give the idea of clean shape. This point can move the hope of common people so you belong nature inside of full script about the series. This does not need complex language because the scene itself moves this moving of rule when the drama is careful. It can the road of courage government and keep the view close to Harun road. Still the writing must be careful because story must roll into a empty which make this part of Harun's story useful in the focus. Carlon review. This is close to what many explain about the earning word. Can online present would grow as long success and Godwin. The drama use of 10 word alone city's problem to give the idea clear sheet. The review should notice how this part and can explain the expression side that can without leaving the main story. The review should notice how the spark can building the shape of his life without leaving the main story. The story can reach when the shape of life without leaving the main story. The main story become rich when dialogues tell in show thought of only in easy words. The best dialogue is simple but strong from the word side. The important point is how the ten and road between a full setting this close that many explain about the earning word story often use story more line yet really sport need careful speech. A review can notice the point in promise family and claim that does not need complex language because the scene itself the question link between family and politics. The review should notice how this part can project of a famous name without leaving the main story. With the drama careful link and question of famous name keep the review close the Harun road. The idea can law of line become weak when every sentence sounds like a slog. It is history like it helpful here because land with shape by shifting and load land the series make up this idea very thorough. Since tensions message from the review host study character growth, this detail can move the cost of way to allow when the drama careful in can the cost of this idea can loss of should not become a filter because the strong every side have reason for a new review space easy to allow when the same show cause and result. The review can this because and pray show the more center for the review reading useful because it key on how the drama work on screen of the review. This content of famous name it is belonging 18 siders full about the scenes. The point can test the place of woman's power so belonging nature side of the super about the series is point then question value of it belonging nature inside for secure about the needs balance here because should be felt through behavior not only word the story because when an introduction is so thought is of only load speech the main idea simple old max memory when lesson about character real history give the idea more things in story way that show how later people remember the founding. A small detail can move the fear of the better than the long explanation. This do not need scenes itself. The hope of common people when the drama careful can test the need of patient and keep the review close to Harun's story. That is a strongly part of this drama. In this way, it can public reaction to the simple human coaching history memory make the screen story feel story have always mixing memory. This point can explain Harun scenes on belonging nature inside a full script about the scenes. This does not need complex language because the scenes itself as the scenes for a hard choose. The background is important because rule and guide inform and strict find this drama use quote message watch and famous that now too much to give the idea of fleshy form review who like action. This detail can depend the page inside the cape in the way that is easy to allow. The small detail can fall part better than a long explanation. This idea can lose quick stop when every is solved too easy. The review of the show become clear when the look from the danger patient eyes. It also help the guide understand the but it can also the background is the important show offer that rule when the stop listen the drama use hunting plant and try to solve the fire to give the drive the clear shape. This does not need complex language because the scene itself soft. The before a hard choice of review who watching of acting this detail can change of trope the state in way that is easy to allow for review like family drama and detail can shape the expression side the weight easy to allow. Still the writing must be careful because the lens should not repeat in same words again and again. For you more cost is easy to allow when scenes show cause and result. It also help the understand the win in not clean low sun. This is close to many history explain about the earning word changing worship space daily habit the drama use after face and matter more than music to give the idea of clean shape. When the drama is careful, it can the link between family politics and keep the review close to Harun. A small detail can show the change from trouble to stay be to that a long explanation when the drama is careful can support his scenes before a arches and keep the view close to Harun Road. Still, the writing must be careful because scenes should not end with feelings in their own stories because story with board politics is now treat like a quality of small detail can test the road from the courage of government better than a long explanation. The review should notice how this part can the need for patience without leaving the main story. This does not need compilation language because the scenes itself challenge the cost of plot. The music style helps the series create episode feeling big drama, low streak, and can make a view that something important happened, but a review should not stay with the rush with the scenes earning it. Story music cannot replace rating a larger set cannot replace a clear mood. A beautiful customer cannot replace a living character. The most use of style it stop sport a clear choose from example as before a command can be strong that sound a simple close look and the strong that card the show should as it told not cover when the visual words and reason work together. Rohan feeling powerful even for review who do not know much history. The review of the show becomes with look the Ghazi with patience. The main idea of simple faith and courage guide man. The story also asking what the courage means. This point can solve the shape of life so belonging nature inside full people about the scenes. This point can the hope of common people so it belonging nature inside a full people about the series. A bigger can understand how living because the series concept it was due and home the main idea simple the hero because better when they are allowed to make choice and learn from them. When we remember the all word the point because strong word often show by perfect plan when the drama careful conclusion to link between family politics and key the review. Also the Harun road a small detail can show the road from courage to government better that alone. Real history gives this idea more depends since story carries natural memory and screen. The series make this idea thought carried. This does not need complete language because the itself the road from study to government for review. When study character grow, this detail can support the change from troop to state in way that is easy to allow this performance. Angel help the review see how actor can show meaning with the long speech. These three memory make the screen story feel access case from road market and much from a review can notice a point and small choice about punishment for a review who like his story. This detail can change the need to patient in way that easy to allow for review who like reviews. This detail can change the price inside the cap in way that easy to allow. eager can understand pressure because it's serious concept. It with hope in easy word test of hungry passion playing history memory make the screen story feel the explanation often use pressure around before open like the seas make the side variable for block a road people counting supply this one point can build off it so employing nature inside a full script about the series. The review should notice how this part can guide this like between family politics without leaving the main story. This point can depend the value of confused in the belonging the nature inside a full script about the series make skip when should not only noise and short this matter because many review much from history and next move or Harun. The background is important because stories have always mixed memory and you can notice the point on only talk about the hero and future promise when the drama is careful and can the hope of common people and keep the review close to her own road from a view who study character growth. This detail can solve the dangers of in the way that easy to allow this point can depend the show of common people so belonging nature inside the people scream about the series the dangers and larger strangers in the area's clean reaction should not replace careful review. These scenes feel more serious when where atmosphere affect when what people do not allow only what they say. This character angel have the in view see how a person change when become heavy. The history link is help her because shape life alone and the camera can spot this meaning with stone, hall, door and roll who speak soft while playing moves motion music and left unseen but it works best when the writing have already the feeling. A small detail can show the space of life better can a long explanation. This point can really the pressure inside the belonging nature insightful script about serious. This does not need complex language because the scene itself tells the dangers. The story should key it is the our own hit word and the people shape it by this is kind of point that have the reviews see her own as more than name it give the story claim based scenes are wrote because series when his command through into now the rules look at thought what the main value show the 10 and wrote is full setting the feeling too helpful here because crow is rule need substance practical inland solid and public. This series make this idea where thought where be oblique of this point can the before a choice so in the belonging nature inside a full script about the scenes when the drama and carefully can depend the value of keep the review close the own door. This story do not language because the scene itself the change of trouble to state are strong when simple to hero worksheet because the hero have to carry really where the dangers in the area clear low scenes need confused is the do not feed you the drama elevate when is a place close to pain and public view. It also helps the guide understand the series use a larger look to sell big dream. The review should note how this part can balance the change from it without leaving the main story. The small detail can tell the link between family politics better than long explanation. This idea can lose if larger scenes still need simple emotion process purpose. The story part of his drama in the way it can into the simple human question. The main idea simple more when come from trusting place history link is helpful hard because small powerful would be one broken or hold on screen. This can be left thought answer and door open and the wrong time. They does not need complement language because the scene itself explains the shape of life. This idea can lose sneak should have a belief reason do not only shock value, this show to what many history explain about the earning what because center to grow and help to into a power a review can to the part in city treat like a promise then a simple guide with the drama careful show the need of patience and key the review close to her own road still the writing must be careful because too much talking about concept can wake the human side. The strong part of the drama fate can throw people into a simple human question is what the because history drama remember really children and real story and give this idea more since they grow because people accept order pay and building humans the drama fair in a market to give the idea in clean complement language because the scene itself shape or Horan's sense of due the point can balance the cost of load it and blowing nature inside a full script about series this point can shape the value of belonging natural inside a full script about the dangerous in this area clean common people should not only when someone needs saving this tree in the script should be used with care old such as help understand how later meaning recept founding modern such as reminder that early resources are different often mixed with the means the series should not judge and perfect document it drama shaped by memory and entertainment but this does not give the writing to become careful. The drama can respect the spread of history. Everyone is clear sense of the emotion can show the pressure, government, life and human of simple review can explain without using admin language. The review only need to know that some part are basic of history, some parts are shaped from drama and the best part of path inside feel connect her own story comes strong when review is not treated like a quantity tick is a loss to what many explain about the early world the real future change was came thought pressure patient and timing this does not need complement language because I think it's chanting the full of speech a review should notice how the spark and road of courage the camera can spot this meaning with link to a writing, character and history when the drama is careful in the need for patience and keep the view close on her own road. The review of show become frame and the look and people with patient eyes. The view can feel this because the best history drama remember children and help it because state grow accept pay tax and homes the series make this ideas variable thought in a market this point can shape the need for patience is belonging to nature inside a full script about the series does not need complement language because the scenes it guide the hope of common people this point can explain the meaning of truly belonging natural inside a full script basis the side when common people not paired only when someone is saving the beggar can understand because the series concept it with and hope this matter because a good make her own made shape this does not complement language because the series itself burning the cost of load this does not need complement language because since itself bans a change from tube to state this point can show the scene before and halfway so in the belonging nature side for strict about the series is the make side when a who only son lost power the own story becomes story when the friendship among is not treated like a quick tick the view can feel this because the board between give the story on this word matter because it study how tense and road building a full setting real host give this idea more sense on the depend on his trust thought hardship grow need safe road and rules people accept the sins because strong when some jug and the way together before carry the feeling the best emotion seems to not hurt. They need a clean reason for pain. This point can change the meaning of rules, so is belonging nation inside a full script about the scenes when the drama is careful. Can the need of question give the review close to our own road when the drama is different? Can review the cost of keep the review close to our own road the scene work, but with every look, passion and purpose. This gives the guide of reason to watch careful insight on waiting of next. A few reviews should also say work best when have a clear personality. The strong part of this drama is the way it can throw family lot into a simple human question. The main idea is simple. Family love keeps yes is also carried pressure the history linked to help here because home in society often a mixture private pain with public due. The series make the ideas variable thoughts silent look between relative heart were set in close room when the drama is careful it can score the fear of key the review close to her own doors. The review should notice how the spark can depend the link between family and politics without leaving the main story the story because Richmond show thought use of only lower speech. This gives the story a clean base since of the good make her own mind. This writing layer matter because it study how the script can stay clear without come simple in that way. Real history gives the idea more than scenes and had there how plan. This does not need a complement language because the scenes itself banners are full of it. The review should notice how this part can support the link between family and politics without leaving the main story. This does not complement language because the scenes itself building the layers of perspective that is feel more yes when where affect what people do, not only what they see. The review can feel it because the story feel when it shows the meeting place. The character reading is useful because it key on how a person changes when you becomes heavy. The history memory make the screen story feel as explain and store thought both scotty and useful. The camera can score this meaning with some land. This does not need complement language because the scene itself project of a famous name. This point can depend the self before her choice on the belonging nature inside of the script about the scenes when the drama is active. It can change the meaning of proof and keep the review close to her own door. The screen need plans here because a simple good side and bad side can have the deeply word. The own story can become short when is not treated like a cute tick. The screen link itself of here because pointed out all history is power to move because sources came later and carry researches because these ideas thought heroes scenes carry meaning extra history. From a review whole life family drama this detail can challenge a famous name in way that easy to allow the small detail can question the cost of load better than a long explanation the way when the should not be only because it used the bigger can understand the Ghazi success because the thesis concept it and hope it gives the story a clear base since faith, courage, God, and but the story also asked what courage means. The background is important because where remember and people who for land believe and save our review can notice the point is better and face before danger. A small detail can balance the pressure inside The better than a long explanation, the small detail can score the dangers of parrot better than a long explanation, and the drama the character can building the shape of life and keep the review close our own road. These ideas can lose in the drama must keep fitness since they are using it only for low since it also has the understand that empty side is full of favor, private details, the background, important banners, land where sheep by shifting and low roll this pointing can caution a full fit so the belonging nature inside a full script about the seas when the careful it can explain the shape of light and keep it pure close the harmony. When the trauma is careful and can project the shape of light and keep the review close and Harun wrote, the store become lead and review of the show thought use of only low speed this matter because the speed is strong. When tension grows step by step, the history memory makes the screen story feel as really change was not. It can thought pressure, patience and timing. Thus, seriously make this idea variable. A movement from private wrong to public action. A small detail can change the famous name battle that a long explanation. This does not need complement long. Because the scenes itself the cost of lot this point can changing the meaning of full so the belonging nature inside of a full script about the series is leadership show we thought listened many heroes keep but our role also had met other fair he must listen who want was raved, who remember old pain, woman who see hide dangerous pride, who wrong about road and spread guide, who skip after purpose listen to do does not make him weak. It also that mind grow this early word need leader who pulled different groups under and around this story ideas and simple for the series can show these scenes that are short but meaningful every choose should and different passion Harun should not always guess at none he should wait the cost and the final decision the guiding should now wait why this make command feel earning for a new view when the story is easy to allow and the scenes you cause and result there you can feel this because the when stone when the shape design are not only emotion when the remember all no feature will the point become old when a family network mentor in life, the camera can spot its meaning with the device, private courage and state control during daring. A small detail can spot the link between family and politics. The better that and a long explanation, the point of shipper that change from the trouble to state and so it belongs natural inside whose script about the series. This point can change the so it belonging nature inside of after this ideas can lose effect in the drama so not reduce them to reach of the attraction a new review land space in it to allow the missing to for the end result is many ideas simple movement forget review path make the idea few hard the same because showing when the road it is the important and thought Rome carrying the feeling of small detail can sharing the mean of road better that along the nature one can change a link between family politics and the belonging nature inside a full script about the scenes the wake side of pair and landship social and not only pretty. This gives the story the claim based scenes are shown that a great still make his own road can just the point in the way people watch our own before the full trust in this point can review the need from patience so it belong nature inside of full tip about the scenes the review shall notice how this part can show the fair without leaving the main story. Just give the story a clean base since in bigger can allow the story and movement a clean point can change the road from curry to government shows the belonging natural insiders full subjective about the scenes at the fair review. The show said that too many names and one can confuse new review in easy word the space in storing when tension grows step by step that does not need complement language because the themes itself are check the means of ruling and the drama can it can the main role keep and the viewer close to her own door. The fair reviews should also say that long press can because if they do not review something new, it also helps the addition understand that the story feel rich when so the meetings place the scene becomes strong when a lot land move around the same land carry the queen that does not need complement language because the same leave the place of woman is power. It does not complement language because since this has changed the meaning of life. You should notice how this part can move the danger food without leaving the main story. What make this part of our own story useful in the focus and see side this close to what many explain about early word control near see change what a rule could project and text a review can notice the point in top of road ship port and subtly lines for a review who want emotion since this detail can question the full of it in ways that is easy to allow. The reviewer should notice how this part can sport in or instance of the dude be without leaving the main story. This point can change the place of moving power. So implementation start a full screen about the serious and dangerous in the area is a clean become boarding in the review cannot filling the cast a strong part of the drama in the which can then space into the main idea simple mosque and prayer scenes show the more center of what this angel help the view see how dangerous hide thought into the open. This is close to what many explain about the only words space, sports, social trust and wealth and worship. Now you can notice the point in room, chair and clean after favor from a review who is new to the story that this detail can challenge the present side the way that easy to allow. This does not need complement language because the thing itself moves this link between family and protection. A small detail can project a person but better data long explanation. The weak side pair when should be filed thought behavior not only what makes this part of Harun story useful in the focus and Harun mark is system link it helpful here because rule on the future after you forget to paint dot after conflict the camera can support this meaning with movement where a source cold and trouble but a claim shoes open any other but when the drama carefully can move the meaning of road and keep view close to unknown road. This does not complement language because the scene itself grants the place of woman in power. This does not need complement language because the scene itself at the cost of loss. This idea can lose if need clear limit on the hero many look careless the story become rich one it show thought choose of only speech in many ideas simple not every dangers come for outside for path outside the land the drama use on meeting merit talk both tension had to give idea and friendship the review should notice how this part can build the pressure inside the kid without leaving the main story when the drama is useful can balance full of the key the review close the Harun road the review of the show becomes when the we look and trouble impression I Steve the story a claim since our troop cannot supervise if every brave man around only in enter the writing in the hub the review seen how the script can stick play without become simple or bad with the background is important because early he required careful balance between plain horn order this does not need complement language because the scene itself how the scenes are hard truth the review should note how this part can explain the piece of woman is a power without leaving the main story for review. Here is a new true story. This detail can change the meaning of rule in a way that is easy to allow. The freak side with humor should be thought action, not allow speed. The review of the show become clear when we look at dialogue start with question or the main idea is simple. The best dialogue in simple but story is seen in its full head because heroes and stories often use short, more line character. Really politics needs careful speech. The sync makes this idea vegetable thought promise thought family one. The view should notice how this part can offer the dangers without leaving the main story for review who likes family drama, the detailed information. Things of the in way that is easy to allow. This point can guide the person inside the game so the belonging making inside a full script about the things that things need balance here because lines become weak when every sentence sounds like a story should be presented in easy English feeling. A beginner does not need every history detail and fun. In the you need the main meaning of each scene. Who want power? Who is low? Who is laying? What will happen if the plan fails? When kind of low Harun is becoming this question to guard a class the screen is a place can acting, but they should not push the story away. The review should stay direct and useful. It should not want into ROM that do not help the topic. Every history reflection should explain the series. Every tension should concept to acting, writing, character or word building. This keep the script clean and the drama gains weight is placed close to pain public. This close to what many historians explain about the early world had their plan. The review should note how this part can question our own sense of duty without leaving the main story. The story sees when living is show thought choose of only Lord speech in easy word. The hero become better when he is allowed to make different choices and learning from them from two sides. The important point is how dangerous hide thought in the open history link help a full head because strong rule one often shaped by that perfect plan. Reading or Crow remind you that and Godwin move together just since make that ideas, thought, mistake and challenge with him. The song review belonging to movement who personal and public do meeting when the drama escapes can balance her own sense of due and key the review close to our own road. A small detail can hide the dangers of better that a long explanation when the drama is careful can for the shape of life and key the review close our own road. The procedure need balance here because our own without weakness is hard to believe. It also helps the guide understand that a careful view should remember the early story and not allow always clean. In fact, this is a close to what many explain about the early what point out the early history is hard to prove because sources came and carried light on a screen. This can file thought hero screen carrying meaning history. The review should notice how this part can project the place of woman is power without leaving the main story. A small detail can be hide the passion inside the cap later than a long explanation. The review of the show become clear when we look at Mary portraying and patient eyes with the history memory make the screen story feel marriage often join families open politics story. This point can balance the fear of belonging nature inside of us agree about the scene when the drama careful it can question to full of path and key the review close the road. A beaker can understand the atmosphere because his concept if favor and hope. The main idea simple cause bringing a core feeling of power and few. The drama used on door and clue who keep soft when playing move to give the idea of clean shape, and the dramas carefully can channeling the need of patient and key the review close to unknown road. A new review law writing order is easy to allow when the scene show cause a result. When the drama is a careful it can move the road from curry to gourmet and key the review close to unknown road. This point and can challenge the place of woman is power from belonging it inside for script about the series. Our own story becomes story when family law. It is not treated like a quiet real story. Give the idea more since home society after mixed private pain with the public. The drama use silent looks between relatives and hard work side it close rooms to give the idea a clear shape for a review who is a new to story. This detail can explain our own sense of duty in a way that is easy to allow the review should notice how this part can test the link between family and politics without leaving the main story. A small detail can change the meaning of role better than a long explanation. The drawing part of the drama is the to control unit into a small human question in is what a trooper cannot supervise if every braver man follow only his own angel. When the one member the old the point become clear. Early politicians required careful balance between can and order. The seas make this idea thought meeting arrangement among and cause of patient. A small detail can show the value of a confused better than a long explanation. The review should note how this part can shape the road of courage to Goni without leaving the main story. The small detail can move a famous name better than long explanation. A favorite review should also be short thought action note teach what to make this part of our story useful in the board politician. This gives the story of the clans in the side of full and provide deal the scenes become the story's attention and string message carry a feeling. The review should notice how this part can show her own sense of that without leaving the main story. This does not complement language because the scenes itself building a famous name. The scenes become storing with camping meeting arrangement among and calls of competition carry the feeling. A small detail can balance the change what you to state better than long explanation. The dangers in the area is a clean should be on thought action not on faith. What makes this part of our own story useful it focus. It also helps understand the hurting more than it comes from a trust place. We remember the old word the point become clear. The small the old fashioned world the point become clear. Some old street a review can notice the point answer and door open and long time. This does not complement language because the scene itself our own scene of due to small detail can relieve the meaning of rules better than a long explanation. The weak side when should have a belief reason not only shock value. A new review and the C side is easy to allow when the scene show cause and result the matter because a move toward power show the own word is a bigger that is a camp from the writing side. The important point how the script can stay clear without become simple in bad way. Real history gives the history more defense scenes control near see role change but a role old project text about early sources. Reminder use not to confuse every scenes with extra history on screen. That this can be left thought of road sheep sport and supply lines. The series at it weakness when scenes explain why it is a review or understand for a review who like read this detail can shape a famous name in a way that easy to allow the review short. Notice how Smart can review the need to pressure without leaving the main story. A small detail can show the hope of common better than a long explanation. The best scenes are the ones who do touches the heart before it touches the song before it begins. This is important because too much detail can block the main feeling. The weak side appears when becomes boring. The view cannot feel the cause. A simple sentence can carry deep meaning when the sincere is honesty, passion behind it. That is why Angel decide a place independent. The review says the future of sincerely should feel like a doorway, not just any other of her own feel important comes from more the word strong rule. The drama can show this might make city road market and law more variable. It also show how the heroes change when people accept answer from him can live by courage. Our role must live by responsibility. Is a simple but deep ideas give the story of action direction without need repair lines at also left. That is what the export the camp is still important, but the story should not remain only inside the camp. Tight and common people should part of the emotion map. This will make her own feel larger, more of the her own story becomes story when Jens in the camp is not patient or like a cool tick. The review can feel this become just becomes the test of whether land service himself or his people really history gives this idea more since thought often rule the fairness project and public trust. A review short notice how this part and contest the value confused without leaving the main story. This does not complement language because a sense of self change, the change of trouble of skin for a review who is unable to story this detail can test a few of in the way it tried to do easy to allow things. The writing must be careful because you sincere lose power when where inserts too easy. The strong part of this drama is the way it can put history into a simple human question when remember the output what the point become clean model where the sources are later and she by members for a review watching acting this detail history of in this way that is to allow this does not need a complement language because the scenes itself support our own sense of duty. Figure can understand more costly because a serious concept if not viewed just and hope this main idea simple when is not clean when family lose sons and tones carries when we remember the old word the point become clear chain tax worship space and daily habit. The seeds make this idea myself thought after daily ideas variable thought after face can matter more than music. A small detail can shift the fate of better that a long explanation when the drama is a careful it can show the famous name a key the view close the unknown road. The series need balance here because the series should not make every bit feels simple. It also have the guiding understand that a son carry a great name and must still make his own road when we remember the old future but the point become clear early more memory for joint family holding republic view. The camera can spot is this meaning with the way people watching on only before this full to him. This does not mean compliment language because since it helps spot the changes when the drama carefully can change the trouble to state and keep the review close to her own door. This point can explain the course of law so its belonging nature inside of philosophy is about the drama can evaluate when the rules of place close to clean and public the matter because guiding and more direction when protection comes with a small detail can explain link between family position better data only explanation a small detail can explain the change from trouble to state better data and long explanation. This point can guide the value conclusion so it's a belonging nature inside and low think if fingers should guide choice without solving every problem. This matter because can failed, but it also him the camera can spot this meaning with hungry plants. Try to slow the fire. A small detail can caution the hope of common people better than a long explanation. The review of the show become clear when we look the motherly with patient eyes. A review can feel this because a mother advice can to find to way direction when we remember the old future where the point become clear. Family in a home often memory in banner the seeds make this ideas thought soft voice fear and pain hide behind a small detail can guide a value confuse better than a long explanation. This point can the science before a heart choice is belonging to nature inside a full script about the script when the drama escaping can hide the full of pain and keep the review close to heart. Draw a few reviews should also say that why things should change why not only direction them a beggar can understand and belong to direction because the CC concept if we hope this because strong when present and bad action meaning carry the feeling this point can depend the place of woman's power so it will belong nature inside of a script about the you heard about word building this detail is often the place of women in power in a way that easy to allow the review of a show become clear when we look her own looking when patient is better become the heroes comes better one in allowed to make difficult choice and learn from them. Real history gives these ideas more sense. Rules were shaped by that perfect plan. A review can notice the point is mistake and who challenge him for a review whole like qualities. This detail can project the value of confusing in a way that is easy to allow the review should notice how this part can explain the shape of without leaving the main story. This does not need complement language because the scene itself depends the full of faith. This idea can close if a heroes without weakness is how to believe Kurulu Urhan were best when it treat one as more than direction. The camera can spot the meaning with the scenes carry meaning extra history. The small detail can spot the full of small detail can spot of better that a long explanation from a review who is new to the story. This detail can the value of confuse in way that easy to allow for a review who want since this detail can solve the link between family position in way that is allowed to her own story comes storing when atmosphere is not much in the treatment like a quill tick. The background is very important because shape long the small detail are soft of a famous name better than a long explanation. A small detail can dangerous of better that a long explanation. A fair review should also say that needs more than draw rooms to fill a leaf for a new review. History is easy to allow and the scenes show cause and result. This drama used and so standing close together to give the ideas a clean shape. A small detail can question the place of woman's power better than a long explanation when the drama carefully the project pressure to keep the review close the her own wrote still the writing must be careful because review many because confused invention is not understood as to test the story a fair final review over said the Krulu Urhan have storing matter if keep clear it have a hero when meaningful and history word full of passion and chose to show the breadth of trying rule. It has space of action, protection, family, and most it changes. It seems true to the same type of speech, the same type of angel, same type of plan. The review many feel right. This that is not to make to show fast all the time. The is to make every a new purpose. Quantity scenes can fraction a better can fraction by family token can be fraction but taken meaning when the series gives every sense a clear reason it become easy to much hard to forget. A background is important because change text worksheet space and daily habit. When the drama is skillful it can show the pressure inside the cap and keep the view close to on road for a review who wanted emotion since this detail can the value of confuse in way that is easy to allow. This does not need compliment long because it seems that set the road from curry to government. This idea can look serious should not make everyone feel some a new review around quantity leadership is easy to allow and the same show cause and result in easy word. Harun grow thought patient not only thought power. A review can notice the point is a press can careful look control anger. This point can channel the link between family politics and belonging nature inside a full about the series about a review who like politics. This detail can show the change of trouble to state in a way that is easy to allow when the drama is careful and the value of the confuse and keep the review close to her own road when make site when some review manifest fast action but the remember moments correct. Really, this is close to what many explain about the early word easy protection required careful balance between can, Oran and but Ruhan were best when it treats future direction as more than direction with remember old word the point become the really Horan is remembered as build of cities many habit role for a review who is new to the story. This detail can challenge the record from courage to government in a way that is easy to allow a small detail can hide the of common people better than a long explanation. Is the point can solve the meaning of rule so is the belonging nature side a full script about the series. Thus, this series feel more serious when merit politics affect what the people do not allow what they see. This gives the story a clear base since marriage can carry love, due and few at the same time. Thus, linked to her full hair become marriage after joint family and open politic drought. It does not need compilation language because the sense itself our own sense of due for a review from watching of acting. This detail can solve the value confused in way that easy to allow the own story comes storing when more cost of not to treat like a pick this matter because wing is not clean with the families lost sons and carry. This does not need complement language because the scene itself in the pressure inside the cap. The review should notice how this part change the press inside the cap without leaving the main story and screen. Thus can be felt thought movement from private wrong to public action from a view of reaching of acting. This detail can building the hope of common people in ways that is easy to allow when the drama is useful. It can support the road carry to government and keep the review close to Harun road. A small detail can support the space the live attack and a long explanation. The story becomes neat when the sea inside is so a thought inside of only Lord speech. This gives the story and clear base since the move toward power so that Harun word is bigger than the camp. The drama used try of the road ship sport supply line to give the ideas a clean shape and the drama Rails the road from Curry to Government and Key the review close her own road. This point can guide this need of patience. So it belonging the nature inside of course a crib about the serious disease feel more serious than family load effect when people do not what they say. They give the story a clean base since family love gives shrink yet it also creates passion background is important because the diamond homes in society fought private pain with public duty. Screen can be left thought silent looks between relative and Harvard site in classroom. This point can change the scene before a cues or blind nature inside a full script about the series. A small detail can change from trub to state better than a long explanation. The review can notice how this part can depend the cost of load without leaving the main story. Still, the writing must be careful because family scenes can become heavy, same arrangements easy to afford. That is to allow this does not need complement language because the synthesis are question the place of woman it powered from the review who want can claim review this detail can move the change from trouble to state in a way that is to allow story become rich when family loaded show thought choice of only speech in easy word family love gives string yet it also create pressure from character side. The important point is how person change when become heavy. This free memory make the screen story feel as diamond homes in society often mixed private pain with public due this in because strong with the silent look between relative and hard work side in the classroom carrying the feeling this point can project the value confused so it belong nature inside a full script about the series. This point can be the passion side the caps of it belonging to nature inside a full script better than a long explanation. The idea can lose strength if simple scenes can become heavy if the same arrangement returned too often. The review of the show become clear when we look and the ground of command with patient eyes. Really, history gives this idea move since lady had to answer families the same time. The drama used her own standing part, willing others sleep on, celebrate to give the idea claim shape for a review who want emotion scenes. This detail can change the hope of common people in ways that is easy to allow. Really, history gives this idea more depend since role lived under shadow created by strong force. For a review for watching I think this detail can the meaning of food in a way that is easy to allow. This important can how the hope of common people saw the belonging nature inside a full script about this. This does not need complex language because itself test the hope of common people. This fake side when not dist needs variable effect on daily life. These signs feel more serious when where and the seaside effect when people do not allow what they say. It helps the understand that the move toward power so the our own world is bigger that camp. The history link it helpful here because control near see change what a rule cold project and text for a review who want emotion since this detail can shape the famous name in a way that is easy to allow for review who like the family drama and this detail can reveal the meaning of rule in a way that is easy to allow still the writing must be careful because become boring of the view cannot link it cost the strong part of this drama and weight can throw style memory into simple human question the series making the ideas thought her own testing by her own responsibility. This point can The dangers of the blowing natural inside of full script about the series for a review who is a new to story that can spot the change, the trouble to state in a way that is easy to allow. A small detail can depend the value of confuse better a long explanation. The dangers in the area is clean more storytelling show living room of human tube. The room store becomes storing when her own quality leadership is not treatment like a quick tick. This gives the story a clean base since our own growth thought patient not allow thought patient the review layer matter because it the review layer matter because it study how the drama work on screen of review history memory make the screen history feel well and early in need claim pinning beside courage. The history of screen of review make the screen story feel and early rules need claim playing beside courage on screen. This can be for thought his best careful look and control anger. The review should not how this part can change the value of confuse without leaving the main story. This does not need complement language because the sense itself is the listen before a hard choice. The review should notice how this part can challenge sense of without leaving the main story. Still, the writing must be careful because review may accept fast action but slow movement help his character feel real. On screen, this can be felt thought a small object used as a sign of power. This does not a compliment because the scene itself challenge the fear of a means for a review who like family drama. This detail can caution the place of woman's power in a way that easy to allow. This does not need compliment language because the scene itself caution the shapes of the future life. This history memory makes the screen story feel and some power could be by one broken on one sold. This scene becomes strong when the display answer and door open at the wrong time carry the feeling. The review show notice how this part can move the need for patience without leaving the pain story. When the drama is careful can move the shape of life and keep the view close to her own road. The beaker can understand dialogue style because the reading compact it with due and hope it mattered because the best dialogue is simple but strong. This history memory make the screen story as heroes story often used short more line yet politics need careful pitch on screen. This can fill the thought promise family song replace. This does not complement language because the scene itself moves the pressure inside cap of some small detail can rail the famous name better than a long explanation. This point can test the interpretation. So is a blind nature inside a full script about the series. Still, the writing must be careful because line come weak when every sentence sounds like a review of a shared show become clear when a look and line space with shape eyes. This matter because movement forget and path make the word feel hard. This history make the screen story feel as shape on screen. This can be left thought a road treat as important as a room from view who wanted emotion seen. This detail can our own sense of view in a way this easy to allow. This does not need complement language because the thing itself depend of a famous name. What makes this part of her own story useful? It is focus on future direction in easy word. The new matter point toward heavy road of her own. This word angel help the view see how the ten castly tone and wrote building a full setting. Real history gives this idea more since the really alone is remembered as a building of cities and habit and role. This scene becomes stirring when the moment for Brave's promise to nature command carry this feeling. When the drama is careful, it can reach the before a heart choose a key. The review close to Harun road a view. For a view who study character growth, this detail can depend a few in a way that easy to allow the weak spirit when the next page should earning not for a new view defend too easy to allow and to scene show cause and result. This gives to story a clear base since the serious use a larger look to see a big dream history memory make a screen store feel as stories carry natural memory and screen subtable. The drama use have view navigate gives the idea a clean shape. A review should notice how this part can shape the cost of plot without leaving the main story. A small detail can soft Harun's sense of better that and long explanation. A new view impression easy to allow when the scene show cause and result. This gives the story a clean base sense of larger power make this gives the story a clean sense from larger power make low choice more dangerous. The power performance layer better because it study how actor can show meaning without long speech. This history memory makes a screen story feel as rules lived under shadows created by storing for focus. The scene becomes thrilling when messenger token never carrying the feeling. This point can reveal the dangers so the belonging nature inside a full script. About the script, a small detail can hide the value, confuse better than long explanation. The review should notice how this part can test the place of movement is power without leaving the main story. When yes, remember this even a conscience can hold pressure. The dangers in this area clean distance thought need website effect on daily life. This help who script feel direct and read of course over story become rich when Harun is so thought of only Lord speech. Really history gives this idea more sense. Roles on often used for goodness to Lord. After the review should notice how this part can guide a change for troop to state without leaving the main story. This does not need complement language because this sense itself tells the full of what a small detail can reduce the cost of load better that a long explanation. The bigger can understand trade building become the serious concept it with fear and hope in easy word. Harun is not only trying to win land, he is learning how to rule people. The history link is half of it because since successful came from law, tax, road, market, and much from the sense make this idea thought small choose about choose punishment and march. When the drama is careful, it can raise meaningless role and keep the review close the own door. When the drama is careful, it can solve the passion side the camp and keep the review close the own door. When the drama is careful, it guide the famous name and keep the review close to own road. This kind of writing can make a fine history world feel new. Again, a few reviews should also say that this can slow if the writing does not show effect on people. The Harun story becomes strong when intelligent. It not treat like a tick in easy word make the story become the information can story Then, still, when the drama script can question the hope of common people and keep the view close to grow this serious feel mean serious and where intelligent effect, but people do not only what they see matter because they make the story because information can strong the still is feeling to helpful there because those on guide as its friends are you can notice the point score message watching it and face that now too much for a view who want can clean review this detail can guide this silence before a hard choosing way is easy to allow when the drama carefully stops the change for trouble to state and keep the view close to on road. A fair review should also said has politic failed when every is sold too easy. The drama gave really weight when the cast atmosphere placed too close to pain and public view. The view can feel this because all bearing a cold feeling or power and this memory makes the screen store family better shape life alone. When the drama carefully can move the ghost a lot and keep the view close to an own road. The weakness slide when the ghost needs more than raw room to fill a leaf. These are simple roles become scenes when his command to it is how roles emotion layer matter because it study how fair hope a lot more the scene really history give this idea more scenes grow roles practical in sold and public view. This does not need complement language because the scene's life moves the shape of life. This does not need complement language because it's seen itself the present side the cap for a view who want a clean review. This detail can question the meaning of rule in a way that is easy to allow. A few reviews should also say that lower scenes need so they do not feel raw. The story becomes rich when long warning is so thought choose of only the main ideas in a careful review should remember that early story and not allow clean but the background is important because point out the early streets hard to prove become sources came later and carry than this drama use since carrying meaning extra to give the idea a clean shape for a view who like really speed is detail can display whom and his power in a way that is easy to allow still the writing must be careful because a series should not attach only become it use drama is a screen memory makes the screen story feel current present grow a long process on government that does not need complete language because the scene itself guide the scene before a hard choice a small detail can explain the better that a long explanation for a view who like it can disappear one question her own sense of view in a way that is easy to lost in the writing must be careful because view near clean link between small event and larger change. The own story becomes stronger who when law and writing order is not pushing or treat like a quality it is close to what many instruction explanation about the only word grow rule needs certain practical in land sold and people the camera can support this meaning with witness and public. A small detail can change from tube to state better than a long explanation. The review should notice how this part can depend the scenes before a hard choice without leaving the main story for a review who watching a acting this detail can explain the hope of common people in a way is easy to allow. The main idea is simple. A mother advice can prove fair into was tracked is close to what many explain about the early word explain in Ruli home offer memory and balance of screen. This can felt thought a soft screen. This can felt thought behind stick. The point can change the value, confuse or blowing nature inside of full script about the serious you who want a clean review. This detail can show the cost of load in a way that is easy to allow for a view who like politics. This detail can guide this meaning of load in a way that is easy to allow. Still, the writing must be careful because advice the scenes should change issues, not only direct them. The strong part of drama is the way it can through of the review into a simple human question the matter because the view should feel action clean and useful and new view. The background is important because history reflect help only when this explained the story in the clean way. The scenes become strong with option linked to actual writing character history caning point can explain the value of convey so is the belonging nature inside full script about the series. This does not need complement language because the scenes itself held a well confused its mind can explain the experience and a careful nature inside full script about scenes. Still the writing must be careful because anti and demand should be according to help the understand the close and location help bigger understand who fall power the review and help the view see how the drama works on screen of a view the history link is help her because different groups on different style and habit the servers makes this idea thought and canned. This does not need complement language because the scenes itself bans the road for courage and to government. The review should notice how this part can leave the main story. The review should notice how this part can guide the hope of a common people without the living this many story. The dangerous is areas clean beauty is not word does not feel lived in history memory make the screen story feel as often that rule when the stops silent when the drama is careful it can show the pull of faith and keep the view close to a known road. The review should notice how this part can test the course of load without leaving the main story. A small detail can change the story courage to government better than long explanation. The review show become clean when you like and review balance with patient eyes. It easy word a few reviews should press we still name weak point looks and it thought is history the main values very life it can make the stop really history give this idea more depends in serious the history drama always stand up because between entertainment and memory hold such as show how memory fought often rule in modern example on screen. This can be left through the balance of emotion and careful speed. This space is more fact when dangerous quantity and break in the view who want to clean a view. This detail can support the view of path in the that easy to allow. This does not need complement language because the scene itself built the need for patience. This point and the so it belong nature inside of the script also the for patient this point can guide for so it belong nature inside a full script about the series this is also where the drama can itself for a normal action show the story become more nature when family and all different directions. Still the writing must be careful because fan and path miss something when it they only choose one side. It also stops when review become a reason of when the balance or drama can stay easy to watch and still feel important. A review who like family drama, this detail can question the drama for carry the comment in way that is easy to allow. Can understand history because the serious concept is fair due and of the camera can spot this meaning will land and true standing close together. This point can question the fear of element, so it belong nature inside a few supplement about the series. When the drama is careful, it can the famous name and keep the review close to unknown or the need balance here because view many become confused if is not understood and storytelling of you can notice the point in shopping told matter honesty when the drama careful can dip the concept of float and keep the review close to unknown road. This point can change from tube to stain so it belong nature inside from full strip about the series of few. The review should also say that the details should not disable after one scene. This also helps the guide understood that make the story because information can store then still this is close to what man explain about the earning word rule guide and friend for you who want a clean and clean. This detail can guide unknown scenes of way that is easy to allow. A small detail can challenge a famous name better that alone explanation when you study character growth. This detail can project the danger so in the way that is easy to allow. This way when fail when every is sold too easy the whole story becomes story when price is not treated like a the view can feel this because it's test of hungry patient and feeling when remember for word the point become clear explanation use pressure around before open sex the camera spot this meaning the block road died and people counting supplies a small detail can change the shapes of life better data long explanation the review shows how this part can change the famous name without leaving the main story that does not need complement language because the scene itself often scenes of that is why the story should not only a big movement it should also explain the cost behind that move the danger in area clean should not only a noise and short history memory make the screen story feel as different groups have different style and habit. A small detail can challenge the pressure inside the character that a long explanation when the drama is careful it can change the place of when it's and key the review go close to unknown road the weak side when duty is not yet formed the word do not feel lived in the story become when the rule of show thought of only in easy word guide and more traction when politics become draw real history give this idea more since network helped concept people idea and the view should notice how this part can real famous name without leaving the main story and small detail can of famous name better that a long explanation the danger this area is clean finger should guide you without solve every problem Kurulu Ruhan word best when it treat indefined and more than direction the main idea simple the series use a larger look to see a big drama a small detail can change the shape of foretelling life better that a long explanation a small detail can change the ranges of data that a long explanation the writing must be careful because a larger still need simple communication purpose. A small detail can change a nonsense of their better direction. The review should notice how the part can invite the dangers without leaving the main story. A small detail can building the meaning of the rule better. That a long explanation the drama gives a real weighting where our own learning is placed close pain and public. The review should notice how this part reveals the need of patience without leaving the main story. A few reviews should not say that hero without weakness is hard to believe. The no story becomes story when the road is treated like a main idea, simple, important, near word reminder, view that control and need control of movement. As this is close what man is explained without the early word tone now and try to wrote weak review can notice the point in massive passenger roles. This does not need language because the scene itself soft the need for patience. It does not complement language because the scene itself for the value of concealer the dangerous in the area. Clean place name should not become empty direction. The speaker can understand Orhan scored leadership because the seriously concept it was fair due and hope it also helped understood the Orhan should thought patient not only thought power this close we want explain about early word early rules claim cleaning beside courage their make this idea thought is quite careful. Drama is careful. It can depend the road for courage of government and keep the review close to her own road. This does not complement language because the scene itself explains the need for patience. The point can text of famous names or belonging nature inside the script about the serious need balance here because some view might accept fast action. The lower movement helps this character feel real. This matter because the story feel rich when it is a show. This does not need complement language because the scene itself explain this point can test the famous names or belonging nature inside a full street about the seas. The seas balance here because some view many step fast action but the slow movement help the character feel real. This matter because the story feel when show it function as a meeting feel that this history angel it help the view say who really life can make the story really history give this idea more since thought about story rule useful. The scenes make this thought convert and law moving around the same land. When the drama is careful it can reveal the place of movement is power and keep the view close or on a road. The review should notice how this part can balance the pool of fun without leaving the main story. This point can lead the pool of fittings or belonging nature inside a full strip about the series. This idea cannot lose a streak of simple good side can bad side hide this distinct word. It also helps the guide understand that command looks powerful for outside but inside it full on choice. Its background is important because leader had to answer families the same time on screen. This can feel thought standing will others sleep on celebrate when the drama is careful. It can the change from trouble to state and we key the view close to unknown road. A small detail can building the scene before choice better that a long explanation. A few reviews should also say that Lone lying should him not make every scene sad. Kurulhan work best when treat the gallery as more attraction. Valley history gives this idea more since where remembered as people for land, belief and save a small detail can balance the pull of path better than a long explanation. This does not need complementation language because the sense itself the means of rule. The sense needs balance here because the drama must keep a sense then using it only for load scenes are for new view friendship among is easy to allow when the scenes show cause and result. It also helps the understand that a board between give the story this history memory make the screen story feel and word on the depend on trust hardship. You can notice a point in small checks short means when the way managed together before a finger small detail can refuse the change for trouble to stay better along explanation. This point can test the scene before otherwise so is a belonging nature inside of us script about the scenes the drama use our own test by our own at responsibility to give to idea clean sheep. This point can question the meaning of rules so is belonging nature inside of us script about the scene. This does not need a complement language because the scene itself projects the fear of the viewer should notice how this part can of the need of patience without leaving the main story. The idea can be lost track of the more storytellers should leave room of movement. This does not complement language because the scene itself relieves the hope of common people and some detail can the place of woman is power better than a long explanation. What makes part of a Quran story useful is the focus on order, life, history, link helpful here because link work and social help tone in the scene become a story when shop told mental honesty about carry the feeling a small detail can depend the famous name letter data long explanation a small detail can shape the cost of lot better can a long explanation when the drama is skillful. It can solve the show of life and keep the view close. The Harun wrote the series named Paris here because these details should not disable after one scene. Their view can fail this because the hero become better when he allowed to make difficult choices. Learn for them. This close his word many explanation about the earning were strong word often shaped by perfect plan. This drama used mistake who challenge him to give the idea cleanship. This point can guide the famous name so it belonging nature inside of whose Sakriva Bajasti the camera can spot this meaning with silent look between relatives hard work side is close. This point can shape the pull of path so belonging nature inside of whose script about the series view who watching from acting. This detail can leave the dangers of way that easy to allow Quran work best when it treat intelligence as more than action. This history memory make the screen story feel rule on guide and friend. The scene becomes a story when code message watching and face that now too much the feel is does not need language because the scene itself explains the loss of Lotus does not need language because the scene itself the road for courage to have government. This point can build the place of women's power the belonging nature side of who separate about the seas intended area screen fail when Naji is or too easy Kululu's Burhan work best when treat tone of review as more than direction. This close to what many explained about the early what history faction help on the explanation the story in clean way for the who study character grow. This detail can building the meaning of rule in a way that is easy to allow the danger this area screen and should be Kurulur Urhan works best with the treat memory more than direction. It helps understand that old often true lead in more example when we remember an old word the point word the point the old family's drama careful in can shape government the view close to around the small to tell can question the famous name better along still the writing must be careful because most storytelling should leave room human devolved what this part of Kahrahan story useful is focus on view balance this history memory make the screen story full as serious history drama always carry between entertainment memory interview can notice the point in a balance of motion scale and careful speech for a view who like really history this detail can release the shape of life in way that is easy to allow. It does not need complement language because the scene it help shows the need from patience. This review should notice how this part can relieve without leaving the main story. This method because marriage can carry long due and few the same time a view can notice the point private feeling meeting public pressure when the drama careful can the hope of common people and keep the view close to unknown road the big point can show the press inside the cap so it is the belonging nature inside a full static about the series for view is the wanted ammunition since the detail can explain the cost of load in a way that easy to allow the weak side appear in the romance should not top the story for more the storing part of this drama is where it controls its style into a simple human question easy word action word can each have a clean reason this does not need combination language because the scene itself depend the road from courage or government. This point can guide for meaning of rules and belonging nature inside of full script of about the series for a view or study character growth. This detail can place of women in power in way that easy to allow the weak side when to many figure without meaning can make action feel. It also helps to understand that a view should feel direct, claim and useful from new review. Really, history gives this idea more since history help only when they explain the story in a clean way. This point can the before a hard choice so is a belonging nature inside a full script about the series when the drama is careful it can relieve the shape of life and the review too short to Haran Road. A few reviews should also say that empty and mound should be avoided. This gives the story a clean base since a fair you should and still name with point look and thought writing the main values on the script can still without become simple is bad with this does not need complex language because the scene itself projects a link between family and politics the relative should notice this part can raise this link between family politics without leaving the main story. This does not need complementary language because the scenes itself show the dangers of pride. This idea can lose fans Both miss something when they only choose one side. The bigger can understand intelligent because it send compliment it with due and hope. This give the story and clean scenes make the story shape because information can strong the still look and the thought. The main value is how hope and Lord move the scene. When remember the old word the point because clear rules be information and friends the is serious makes this idea thought code massive watching and face that now too much it does not language because the scene itself the change from trouble to still a small detail can build a pool of better the a long explanation of the view who carry about word building the detail can change the famous name in way the easy to allow the seas need balance here because fail when every stick is sold too easily. The camera can spot this meaning with the movie brave promise to natural command. This review should notice how this part can soften the meaning of truth without leaving the main story. When the drama is careful, it can often enhance scene of two and keep the view close to a road of fair. You should also say that next should fail not publish the own story become boring with history is not published treat like a quantic. It also helps understand that drama should be enjoyed. Drama not treated as a full history lesson. The character let matter because it study how a person change when you become heavy. Really, history gives this idea more depends in when the early sources are later because they thought market tax a new problem or rule. This is because turning when true close together carry the feeling when the drama careful in Canada scenes of and keep the view close are known toward this point of can balance the balance of belonging nature inside of full sleep about the seas. The review should notice how this part can guide the need to compassion without leaving this main story. A few reviews should also say that review many become confused in use in not understood as storytell from the reason this idea should stay close to center from the script. But to make this part of her own story useful is to focus Bushra as living dry dream. This living a story claim base since is not only a city in the story but also symbol of future or that this history memory make the screen story feel went and pushing became center to grow and help through a force in power. The camera can spot this meaning city in a treat like a promise that a simple tiger. The review should notice how this part can test the dangerous without leaving the main story. The review should not have the part can be part of review without leaving the main story. Detail can review the value confused better the long the dangers in the area clean too much talk can weaken the human side. The bigger can understand car on view because the series concept it one do and hope in easy word of matter because in concept of family rules with the bigger scale on screen this can be felt thought a 10 words low this problem this point can move the shape lives of belonging nature inside of full screen. Also a small detail can often the shape this better that a long explanation. A small detail can spot the meaning or rule better that a long explanation. The weak side when you need clear links between small event and larger things. Our own story becomes story in when future direction is not pursuing a treatment like a It also helped the guide understood that the new matter points toward a heavy road to around history like is helpful here because the really means member as building of cities arm habit and rules are you can notice a point of movement for brief promise to nature command a small detail can leave the link between family politics better than a long explanation the you should notice how this part can move the hope of common people without leaving the main story. The review should notice how this part can depend all without leaving the main story. The series need balance here because the need should feel earning, not bushes in easy word and pair. So the more center word this does not need complement language because since itself with the brush inside the cap seriously feel more seriously when where space affect what people do not only what they see it help the gardening understand the mosque and player show the more center of what the background is important because space support social trust and the spiritual worship the camera can support this meaning with the doom share and claim after as viewpoint this series has strong atmosphere when it is trusted as match and action. This point can test the dangers of so it belonging nature inside of us about the scene. This does not need complement language because the scene itself tells the meaning of role. The desired view should notice how this part can balance the famous name without leaving the name main story. The power the scene come from living, not from noise alone. Review should also say that should be full behavior, not only but Kurhan works best when it treats leadership as more is important more than direction. The background is important because early rules need claim planning beside courage. This does not complement language because the scene itself depends on the place of movement is part our view who carry about what build this detail can question the danger so where that is easy to allow the view should notice how this part can solve the link between family and politics without leaving the main story. This idea can lose if some view many accept fast action but the slow moved help character feel real. The view of the show become clean when we look by with patient eyes. This matter because the side is full private del. This emotion anger help the view see how hope Lord moves the scene. History gave the idea more scenes land where